Thank you, Mr. Chair. The changes to LLPAs raise the issue of the GSE's system of cross-subsidies, which are approved by the FHFA. The GSEs generate these cross-subsidies first by targeting a lower-than-market rate return on their lower-income mortgage purchases, which they make up for by targeting a higher return on their other lending activities. Next, the GSEs charge higher credit risk borrowers a lower guarantee fee than would be warranted purely on a risk-based pricing basis, while charging selected low credit risk borrowers a higher guarantee fee than is justified by their individual risk profile and loan type or purpose. Mr. DeMarco, do these cross-subsidies distort the market by weakening the link between loan price and credit risk? And do the changes to the LLPAs lead to further distortion?
Congressman, I believe that, as I say in my written statement, mixing mission into the pricing is problematic, and it adds overall risk to the system, and I think we can deliver support to families in a much more direct way than doing it through the rate. That said, I feel like I really need to clarify here that how is this actually working with what FHFA has been doing. The cross-subsidy, if you will, is chiefly in what was announced last fall, where FHFA eliminated what was left in terms of LLPAs for mortgage holders that meet the affordable housing goals that are set in statute. And Congress actually tells FHFA that it can go ahead and have a lower rate of return on those loans. The loans that are covered by the grid changes made in January are driven not by cross-subsidization, it's driven by the capital rule. And if we want more capital, and if we're supporting this higher capital framework that was put in place by Director Calabria and carried forward by Director Thompson, we've got to come to grips with capital isn't free. There's a cost to capital. And I think what's going on in the grid change announcements that were made in January is focused not on cross-subsidization, is focused on making sure across the grid that we're earning a rate of return sufficient for the capital that has to be raised. And that's not just for now in conservatorship, it's preparing for a date in which these companies might be private and there's actual private capital there, because that private capital is going to want to earn an appropriate rate of return. So you raise an important question, and it gets complicated because it's different parts of the books of business that we're talking about, and I hope that my answer helped divide those up properly.
No, that's good. I mean, the cross-subsidies are based on the borrower's credit quality, right? They're affordable. The housing goals are based on the borrower's income. Right.
Based on their income, not on their credit score. So the housing goals are based upon the borrower income relative to the area median, or in some cases it's based upon geography, where the borrower lives, because Congress has also identified those as target areas.
Yeah, and I would further say that, I mean, and I've talked about this before, there's this whole group of adults right now in America between 25 and 35 years old that have been frozen out of the housing market, mainly because of the increases in real estate. But quite honestly, I mean, they couldn't generate the cash to come up with a down payment if their life depended on it. So, I mean, that's really what we're fighting through here, is we cannot allow, it's not a generation obviously, but it's 10 years, in which this group of adults are never going to have the opportunity to own a home and build wealth. That's our biggest issue.
Yeah, I think you've raised absolutely right. I mean, in some ways, this is, we are now paying the cost of having suppressed mortgage rates for so long, because it did contribute directly to driving up house prices. We made the cost of mortgage credit so low, and those that were able to get in got in, and those that are coming online now as young families, it's much harder for them, because now they get the double whammy of house prices have gone up and now mortgage rates are much higher.
So in situations where low risk borrowers face higher rates under the new fee structure, could a larger than expected subset of loans be originated away from the GSEs and open the door for more private market players?
At the margin, that's possible, but I don't think that what was done in this last grid change is a needle mover with regard to that particular question.
Thank you. I yield back.